Hey, it's Logic in here. I want to thank you guys for watching this video as well here. It's the second one of hopefully many to still come here. Today I'm going to talk about Donald Trump as a whole and what he's been doing. This is a little bit after a month after election here, and I'm just going to take a look at, what he's, been doing and showing us this far. And so far, I've been saying, his big thing that he ran on was not being a part of the system, and that has been so far proven entirely false. When you look at some of his nominations so far here, we have for the Secretary of Labor, we have a gentleman, Andy Puzder, who has went on record saying that the biggest problem that we currently have is regulations in EPAs when it comes to job growth. He's against raising the minimum wage. He is, definitely not a person for the everyday small guy or everyday citizen here in the United States. As far as his Secretary of State position, Rex Tillerson, the Exxon mobil CEO for the last 10 years or so here, if that's not a red flag, and I can't even begin to tell you what is. Some of the problems with him is, we need to start moving away from fossil fuels, not double down. This is not a time where we should, double down on getting regulations as well as, drilling and, not finding new ways to create green and renewable energy jobs. Solar, wind, um, even, into many other things, but definitely solar and wind will be the two largest that we definitely need to take a look at. Especially coming from here in Michigan, I cannot begin to tell you why we have not looked into coming up with solar, or my apologies for that, wind on our coastline here. We have so much wind and speed coming off the coastline here that I cannot begin to tell you how much energy we could harness from that and make jobs here in Michigan and help, revitalize Detroit, revitalize Flint, and other cities with across the state that needs help as well. And then he's turned and going back into Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has seemed to be a company that, all of us should know that they are one of the companies that, drug our country into the ground during the early to mid 2000s here. And that is something that he is looking to continue. Now, I can't, understand how he's been on record saying that, he looked forward or that he was hoping that the market would crash so that he could idolize and buy cheaper buildings and permits and stuff. Obviously, that's good business, but this is not what we need when it comes from a businessman, and definitely not what we need when it comes from our leaders who should be looking out for all Americans. So I can't begin to say how frustrated I am with that. And then for more of my frustrations, because I expected that from Trump, to be perfectly honest, more of my frustrations are going to be looking towards the Democrats here, who have been entirely too weak on, standing up and pushing back on some of these nominations. We need to organize and need to organize quickly on key issues. We need to get the agenda passed that the minimum wage need to be raised. It needs to be raised so that we can, start to get some of the people who are working and grinding every day a better opportunity to be able to move up in their company as well. And these companies are bringing in way too much profit for that not to begin to reciprocate to everybody. We've tried the trickle down economics before. Many of times we've seen how much that's failed, and that's what we're getting ready to do here with Trump by, we'll call it the Bush theory, and that is cut taxes on the rich, put everything on a magical credit card, and hope for the best. Now, this is something that we as liberals and get accused of all the time, but take a look at the facts. Republicans are the ones that are raising this debt more than Democrats have in the past. That is an absolute fact. And I would want everybody to take a look at where we are now and what's going to happen moving in 4 years or 8 years. Because a lot of the times it begins what the president's plant seeds in their presidency doesn't always reciprocate to after the fact. Take a look at what Bush was doing during his last couple of years. That didn't really take effect until the beginning of Obama's presidency, which is why he was started off on such heat, because many people aren't educated enough or didn't care or were racist, whatever the case may be, to the fact. But please take a look at where we are now. Please take a look at how many jobs Obama's brought in the last 8 years here, particularly in the back half of the last 5.5 or 6 when his plan started to roll. And I would love to see where we are going to be in 4 years from now, 6 years from now. It is going to be in a far worse place because of Trump. Thank you. If you like what you hear today, please share this video. I'm trying to get this out here. Also, would really need ideas, things that aren't being talked about. I'm going to do a video on Flint water next. I'm a Flintstone myself, so please take a look out for that video coming soon.